On a snowy Christmas Eve, a magical train called the Polar Express arrives to whisk a young boy to the North Pole, marking the start of an enchanting journey. It was Christmas Eve, a night that always carried a magical stillness, as though the world itself held its breath in anticipation of the wonders to come. The soft glow of the streetlights reflected off the freshly fallen snow, painting the landscape in shades of silver and blue. Inside a modest home on the outskirts of town, a young boy lay awake in his bed, his heart heavy with uncertainty. He wanted desperately to believe in Santa Claus, but doubt had crept into his mind as the years passed, sowing seeds of skepticism that he couldn't quite shake. The house was silent except for the rhythmic ticking of the clock in the hallway. Midnight approached, and the boy stared at the ceiling, wrestling with his thoughts. Just as the hands of the clock aligned at 12, a sound broke the stillness, a whistle, distant yet distinct. The boy sat upright in bed, his ears straining to catch the noise again. Then he heard it, the rumbling of an engine, growing louder and nearer. Throwing off his blanket, he tiptoed to the window and peered out. To his astonishment, a massive black locomotive had appeared in his front yard, its engine enveloped in clouds of steam that glowed under the moonlight. The words, "The Polar Express," gleamed in golden letters on the side of the train. The boy quickly pulled on his slippers and robe, his curiosity overcoming his hesitation. Stepping out into the cold night, he marveled at the size and grandeur of the train. A conductor in a sharp uniform stood on the steps of the train, his lantern casting a warm light that flickered against the snow. "Well, are you coming?" the conductor asked, his voice carrying both authority and kindness. "Where?" the boy asked, his breath visible in the icy air. "To the North Pole, of course," the conductor replied. "This is the Polar Express." Boarding the train, the boy hesitated for only a moment before climbing aboard. Inside the train, he was greeted by the sight of dozens of children dressed in their pajamas, their faces glowing with excitement and wonder. The seats were plush and comfortable, upholstered in deep red fabric that added to the festive atmosphere. The boy chose a seat near the window, his heart racing with anticipation as the train gave a lurch and began to move. Outside, the world became a blur of snow-covered trees and glittering ice fields as the train picked up speed. The rhythmic clatter of the wheels against the tracks filled the air, blending with the soft hum of conversation and laughter among the passengers. As the train chugged along, the conductor moved down the aisle, pausing to punch each child's ticket with a small metal tool. The tickets, gilded and embossed with elegant lettering, seemed to hold some mysterious significance. The hot chocolate extravaganza. Inside the Polar Express, children enjoy steaming hot chocolate as cheerful waiters perform a lively routine, filling the air with warmth and joy. The festive mood inside the train soon reached new heights as the conductor called out, "Hot chocolate." Almost immediately, a team of waiters appeared, balancing trays of steaming mugs. They danced and twirled down the aisle, performing an elaborate routine as they served the children. The aroma of rich cocoa filled the air, mingling with the laughter and chatter of the passengers. The boy accepted his mug gratefully, the warmth of the drink seeping into his hands. Taking a sip, he found it to be the best hot chocolate he had ever tasted, smooth, creamy, and sweet, with just a hint of cinnamon. He savored the moment, his doubts about the magic of Christmas beginning to fade. Through the frozen wilderness, as the train sped northward, the landscape outside transformed into a winter wonderland. The moonlight illuminated vast expanses of snow-covered fields, dotted with frost-encrusted trees that seemed to shimmer like crystal. Occasionally, the train passed small villages, their rooftops dusted with snow and their windows glowing warmly against the cold. Inside the train, the children sang carols, their voices blending harmoniously as they celebrated the spirit of the season. The boy, though initially reserved, found himself joining in, his excitement growing with each passing mile. The conductor returned to the aisle, checking on the passengers and sharing tidbits about their destination. "We're on schedule," he said with a satisfied nod. "We'll be at the North Pole before you know it." Arrival at the North Pole. The Polar Express arrives at the North Pole, revealing a dazzling city filled with bustling elves, towering candy canes, and a glowing Christmas tree. After what felt like hours, but also no time at all, the train began to slow. The children pressed their faces against the windows, eager to catch their first glimpse of the North Pole. The boy's breath caught in his throat as the train pulled into a magnificent station, its platform aglow with thousands of twinkling lights. Stepping off the train, the children were greeted by the sight of a bustling city, its streets lined with candy canes and garlands. Elves hurried to and fro, carrying brightly wrapped packages and singing cheerful songs. In the distance, the boy could see Santa's sleigh, its golden runners gleaming in the light of the enormous Christmas tree that towered over the square. The conductor led the children through the streets, explaining the various sights and traditions of the North Pole. They passed workshops where elves crafted toys with remarkable speed and precision, as well as bakeries where the aroma of freshly baked cookies wafted through the air. Meeting Santa Claus. Santa Claus hands the first gift of Christmas, a silver bell, to the awestruck boy, surrounded by cheering children and glowing holiday lights. The children were eventually guided to a grand plaza, where a stage had been set up for a special ceremony. The boy's heart raced as he realized what was about to happen. Santa Claus himself was coming to greet them. The crowd erupted into cheers as Santa appeared, his iconic red suit resplendent in the glow of the Christmas lights. His twinkling eyes surveyed the gathering of children, his presence exuding warmth and kindness. The first gift of Christmas, Santa announced, will be given to one of you. He scanned the crowd, his gaze settling on the boy. You, Santa said, pointing directly at him. The boy felt a surge of disbelief and excitement as he stepped forward. Santa handed him a small, silver bell, its surface polished to a mirror-like shine. Shake it, Santa instructed. When the boy did, the bell emitted a sound so pure and enchanting that it seemed to resonate with his very soul. Tears filled his eyes as he realized the significance of the gift. This bell, Santa explained, is special. Only those who truly believe can hear its sound. The journey home. The boy gazes out the window of the Polar Express, clutching his silver bell tightly as the train glides through a moonlit snowy forest. Clutching the bell tightly, the boy returned to the train, his heart brimming with gratitude and wonder. The journey back was quieter, as many of the children had fallen asleep, their dreams filled with the magic of the North Pole. The boy gazed out the window, replaying the events of the night in his mind. When the train finally pulled into his neighborhood, he stepped off reluctantly, knowing the adventure had come to an end. Christmas morning. When the boy awoke the next morning, he found himself back in his own bed. For a moment, he wondered if it had all been a dream. But then he spotted the bell on his nightstand, its silver surface gleaming in the sunlight. Shaking it gently, he smiled as the magical sound filled the room. Years passed, and while others eventually stopped hearing the bell's sound as they grew older, the boy, now a man, always could. The bell remained a cherished reminder of that extraordinary journey aboard the Polar Express and the enduring power of belief.